Good morning, people. Good morning. Let's give YouTube and Twitter and Facebook all a chance to invite the folks to the call. Good morning. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. It is election day. I sure hope if you haven't voted yet that you're planning to go today. Many of us, I know I did. I went to early voting on Saturday, was able to walk right in, do what I was going to do, and walk right out. I do like that they're given that opportunity for early voting. Hopefully, you are able to take advantage either that or your mail in ballots or whatever. But if you didn't do either one of those things, please go to a polling place and vote. Everyone counts, all right? Everyone counts. I won't tell you, I won't even suggest how to vote. Just know that everyone counts. Every vote matters. So go ahead and make sure that yours is in there. Janae says, Happy Election Day. I like the banner morning show with Jamie. What banner? The banner that's on the thumbnail? Morning, Ward. How you doing? Hey, Ray. Ray says, finally, yes, no more political ads after today. Yep.
And hopefully the robocalls die down.
Yeah, I never, I have a cell phone. I wonder if the robocalls, I think with AT&T, they have software that blocks away calls that are not, straight from a phone, or whatever. So I haven't been getting robocalls, but I think that's definitely based on spam blockage or whatever else because I've not gotten any. So I'm considering myself blessed. You get robocalls, Jamie? You've gotten robocalls?
If you were to see my list of calls, you would either laugh or cry.
Hmm.
One of the two.
You're keeping a list?
No, no, no. I'm saying if you were to see like my the call list when you go back and look at all the calls you might have missed,
Okay.
it is like I have to spend more time than I care for deleting from the missed calls list just to get them out of my, just to get them off the list. Literally, I could get in the average day at least 6 or 7 just regular robocalls randomly. It's a pain. It's a pain. So if y'all don't have to deal with that, consider yourself extremely blessed. Extremely blessed. Yeah. All right. So we got enough people on the call so far. Looks like we might have lost our listener. Um, we got enough people on the call so far. So let's get this party started. Started. So we got for our European markets, little changed as traders focus on U.S. election day. No surprise there. This is mostly mixed, but everything is mostly down. The only two that are up for Europe is DAX, which is up 0.14%, and CAC, which is up 0.15%. Asia is mostly up. The only one down is ASX 200, which is Australia. And they are down. I'm sorry, ASX is down. The only one down. 0.40%. They are down. As of right now, the majority of the indexes are up. Russell 2K is the only one that is down 0.20%. The VIX is down as well, 4.05%. It is down to 21.09. All right, 21.09. Okay, might as well take a look at earnings for this morning. We won't go over the whole list, but this morning before the open, we had talked about yesterday and as of Sunday, Global Foundries was the main one that we saw reporting. Of course, Sundial, for those of you who are familiar with the cannabis space, Amon. And then after close today, we have Super Micro. It'll be interesting to see how they recover with their stock price being having dropped recently and everything that's mixed in with the accounting fiasco, Microchip, and Big Bear AI are also reporting today after close. Tomorrow, the main thing I was looking at was CVS to see what's going down with them. But of course, a lot of us know Johnson Control, but that's before the open. But I'm paying attention to what happens after the close tomorrow for ARM and Qualcomm. Those are the main two that I'm looking at, although I am following IonQ. All right, so we'll see what these next few days hold in terms of what we are trying to do for our trading. All right, we have for today for forexfactory.com calendar. 8:30 a.m. was trade balance, yellow folder. 9:45 a.m. orange folder, final services PMI. 10 o'clock, red folder, ISM services PMI. All day, red folder, presidential election. All day, congressional elections, red folder. And then a yellow folder, 10-year bond auction at 101. So what that means is this is one of those trade with your head on a swivel type days. You can expect that I would expect there to be pretty much volatility or some type of up and down move or something all day. That's just how I'm viewing it. For our investing.com setup, we have, of course, over here 3 stars, presidential election, the exports and imports for September, both 2 stars. That was at 8:30. 2 stars for the trade balance for September. 1 star for the red book year over year. That was 8:55. 9:45 S&P Global Composite PMI for October was 2 stars. And the Global Services PMI for October was 3 stars. Then coming up, of course, 1 star for the ISM non-manufacturing business activity for October. 2 stars for the non-manufacturing employment for October. 1 star for the non-manufacturing new orders. And then 3 stars for the ISM non-manufacturing PMI for October. ISM non-manufacturing prices for October is also 3 stars. Over here, 3 stars for the 10-year note auction. That's at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, 2 stars, Atlanta Fed GDP Now, which we have been seeing this regularly. And then, so that's 2 stars at 1 o'clock. And then as we make our exit, well, actually, we will have made our exit by the time API weekly crude oil stock shows up with the 2-star rating. So again, still a little bit of stuff sprinkled throughout the day, and that is one to grow on. All right. So we're gonna zoom this in. So we got Adam Mancini, the Mancini information, election day, but most the SPX volatility won't be until post 6 p.m. All noise until. I believe he also uses the word chop, I believe. As per yesterday's 4 p.m. newsletter, 5709 was evening support, and we hit 5710 and bounced 20 points. The plan today, 5745 through 5709 is chop. There it is. 5723 is support. If that keeps, 5735, 5745 is the breakout live, which is essentially saying it'll go up. 5709 fails, we sell. So 5723 is what I'm putting on the chart. First, let's go. Well, I'm already there. So we'll do 5723. This is the 15-minute chart. This is SPX. And the first 15 minutes, I am marking right now. It gapped up this morning, by the way. But I'm going to put this 15 minutes in here. Right? These blue lines in here, I don't even know if y'all can see them as blue lines on yours, but these are just the swing points that I literally just went in and looked at where price turned around on the 15-minute chart. and just, mark that. So just like it came up here and turned back at 57.55, that just lets me know that this, may be an area where it could do that. So that's why I put that there. So we got 57.23 is one of our numbers. And then we're going to do, 57.45 through 57.09. So let's do that. We'll do, since that's all supposed to be, we'll go 57.45. And I'll literally use the word chop. 57.45, 57.09. That in there. So now we at least have, and again, this is put in here for my purposes. So if you can't read it, that's okay. Just use whatever nomenclature works for you to find what you need as quickly as possible. But I just toss mine on there like that. 57.35, 57.45 are the other ones that we want to put on here for Mancini. Right, 57.35, 57. All right, well, we got this one right here. So this one will be, I'm going to change this color since this is one of the ones that can fall in both categories, if you want to say it that way. And then 57, which this is already broken past all of that. So actually, I can just do 57.45 and leave it. So it has broken past this and created a second candle. This is a nice strong candle here that is coming up for the second 15-minute candle. All righty. So that's what's happening. This is what happened on yesterday. Market open. It really didn't do a whole lot yesterday. It's a nice little, bounce up, no major volatility. It came down around noon, broke past its low. And when it bounced, it did not go nowhere. It didn't go up to its high. Gapped up this morning. Now, here's the bigger picture. Let me show you this real quick. So this is the daily chart. And this is the gap that's at the top. The gap down here, which we would call a seller's gap, because the seller prices push this down. And so up here at 57.76 area, it is still hanging out under that. This is still resistance. On November 1st, last week, this came up to this area and retested and bounced off of it. So at the very least, we know there's some sellers sitting in here. So it would not surprise me if we get back up to this 57.75 area and it bounces off again, because this is a pretty strong reaction right there. So, but for our first 15 minutes, we got the breakout before you get bum rushed. We got that happening. All right. And it is still bouncing even off of 57.59. Okay. So if you're looking at the PDT hack, this candle just closed. So that's one to keep an eye on over there. We'll take a look at let's see here. I don't know. I'm assuming it's directed at me, but all right. So this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which shows up as the Dow Jones Industrial Diamonds. Okay, if you say so. All right. Now I'll tell you the first thing that I'm noticing, like right now, this looks like a head and shoulder. This looks like a head and shoulder formation. This will be the left shoulder. This will be the head. And this is like it will be the right shoulder trying to form over here. That's the first thing that I noticed. Not saying that's what it is, but that's what it looked like. All right. Let me acknowledge this gap right here. That is in effect. Okay. And then we will start looking at our zones. All right. There's a couple zones that I'm seeing. This one seems awfully close to current price, but it is there. And I must acknowledge it. Okay. So here's what we got. I'll turn this one off. So we have the top of this up here for our most immediate seller zone area. And then we got this one. Oh, geek out. I'm going to try not to geek out on y'all, okay? I'll do my best to not. Oh, geek out. So, boom, 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 boom. I said geek. All right. Here's the other. Here is the other gap here. That will be the next level of support. So we got a leg in, base, leg out. We have price currently, Dow Jones currently in that seller zone. And then we have what could very easily be labeled as a confusing chunk of information right here. What I would be doing is doing leg in, 3 in the base, leg out is how I'll be looking at that. So this is come over here and fill this gap already. But I would definitely have considered this a shear formation right here with just 3 in the gap because of this gap up right here. In the meantime, I would consider this a momentum. More to me, it looks like more of a momentum situation happening. But I would not be averse to going like this. And so now we got at least some zones to work with. There's a couple different ways this could be charted, in my opinion. We can do it this way, right? Leg in, base, leg out, which is going to give you a weaker leg out. You can also do it this way. All right. Whoops. Which uses this one as the middle candle. So this will be leg in, base, leg out. Generally speaking, I do not like using these type of candles, these non-solid candles as a leg in or a leg out, but this is the situation, so we're gonna ride with it. Okay. So if we're looking to see what is tradable, possibly, let's start looking at that. This is pushing up right now. I'll be looking to go under this gap is where I will start investigating. Investigating DJ. Let's see, D-I-D-I. Now, switch this to 3. Do that. So if I was trying to go for this Friday, if I was looking at like 411, let's say, 411 will be down here right under the gap, right under that smaller portion of the gap. 10:07. Now, normally I wait to get in, but obviously we in the sim where all I do is win, win, win them. So if you're in the sim, you know you can make some concessions. At least investigate. This is a one spread, $100, collecting 17 cents. I am under a gap right now, so I would be okay with this 17 cent. That's 17% return on collateral that I am collecting. I should say I'm collecting 17% right there. So that's I'll be looking at that because I'm down here. Obviously, at some point, a day or so, who knows? Definitely after the election, I'll be looking to see where this went. If it went up any higher, drop down a little bit, what have you. I see a possible iron condor that could be happening here. I would look at this as leg in, base, leg out up here. So if this was the move up, let's say, this is the seller zone that I'll be looking at. This chair. That's what I'll be watching for. Seller zone 1, seller zone 2. Okay. Okay, little babies. All right. So that's DIA. I'm just checking to make sure. All right. I know some of us are fully enamored with SPY. So let's take a look at SPY. Which, of course, should look like what? SPX. So remember, I just talked about this on SPY, how this came up and it retested this gap. Now, what I will say that I do like about this particular formation is SPY created a buyer zone. Look at you, SPY. SPY created a buyer zone right here. Leg in, two in the base, leg out. And you can definitely consider this a seller zone up here. We can do leg in, I would say 3 in the base, leg out. And then there's another one up here. So there's 2 seller zones above it. Right? And the dashes down here are for this buyer zone. So we basically got a SPY sandwich. That's what that is. It's a SPY sandwich. It's sandwiched in between. So if you want to go under, if I was going under, current price, 574. It would probably be in this buyer zone, but I'll be looking to see if there's something under 568. Let's see what we get. You know, some of us in the zero DTE business. So you will have to take a look-see. Ooh, my 17 cent is working. All right. This is showing me 570. So 570 would be about right here while it's still pushing up. Of course, if you're noticing, this is pushing down right there, which is the retest that we were talking about. Earlier, I was saying on SPX that if this came back up, it may react to that. So if some people had that as their conviction, if your spirit is convicting you to go above price, 19 cent, all right, is what that would be above there. So we got it going on. All right, now, see you later, Alyssa. Got to go off to do her thing. So you definitely have some opportunity if you're looking at SPY. Again, I personally like to let the market settle a little bit, but there is some opportunity possible. And here is Russell 2000. So what Russell did on the daily chart, we have a buy zone down here that was charted. Seller zone up here. Leg in, two in the base, leg out for the seller zone. Leg in, one in the base, leg out for the buyer zone. And we did notice the other day a couple things. One, this also looks like a head and shoulders formation. Left shoulder, this will be the head. This area, I would consider the right shoulder. So that's one way of looking at that. It would not surprise me if this starts heading back down and coming down to here and 2187, 2168. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point it breaks bearish and starts heading down. That would not surprise me at all. It's not a prognostication, but it wouldn't surprise me. All right. So we're going to put this gap in here, and then we're going to look at the 15-minute chart or 15-minute time frame and see what's going on. Usually, many times, what will have broken out before SPX. So it's never a surprise when it does do that. And then we have here, this has started to feel this already. Okay. We'll do it this way. So we're just going to mark the 15-minute. And it has already hit a resistance area. And we shall acknowledge that it is retesting. Retesting might be the wrong word. It is reacting off of 2232, which is the price, and that is here, which is the seller zone. This would be called the proximal line. It's the proximal line, the one that's closest to price. So it is retesting on the proximal line of the seller zone on this daily chart. So that's what we're seeing here. What it's bouncing off of, right? And of course, there's so much you can do with these lines. So I don't want to put 2 million lines on here, but the first thing I will be doing is definitely watching this. Since this is a price point on the daily chart, I'll be looking to see if this is going to start coming back down and see what it does, and then watch it from there. We could also zoom in a little further on the 5-minute. On the 5-minute, this is showing that this is trying to pull back off that line. So if somebody likes to look at stuff, I don't keep stuff on the 5-minute. I just kind of look at the 5-minute to see what is happening. I kind of feel like the low is 2230. So I kind of feel like if a candle closes below 2230, I can't see why I wouldn't be assuming that it would be heading down at least for a minute. But that's what's going on with Russell. So, all right. So we got SPY, we got SPX, we got Russell, we did the DIA, we did earnings, the election. What else? We did Mancini, calendar. I think that's everybody on our list. As of right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 0.60%. S&P 500 is up 0.72%. The NASDAQ is up 0.95%. And the Russell 2K is up 0.47%. The VIX is down 5.87%. 20.69 is where it is at. Okay. 20.69. Yep. So we looks like we're good. We've knocked everything out. Okay. I don't see any more tickers. So let's do our E2T daily declaration. By faith, I am a successful trader. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. Money likes me because money is comfortable around me. It is drawn to me. Oh, by the way, Janae gave us a compliment on the banner. Thank you very kindly. Truly appreciate it. And if I did not say good morning to everybody, which I thought I did earlier, good morning, Janae, Ward, Raymond, Deborah. Who else is in here? Tamar, Natasha. Thank y'all very much for joining us today. Lady T, thanks for showing up. We truly appreciate you. Raymond. Thank y'all very much. If you got something out of today's broadcast, please click like. We'd appreciate that. Our E2T daily declaration. Actually, no, our E2T daily prayer. Lord, give us wisdom and knowledge for our trades today. Help us to make smart and lucrative decisions for our portfolios. Now, look, the politics, the election is going on all day. All right. So, as far as I'm concerned, no trade is safe. So, be careful. All right. Be careful. Even Mancini considered it chop. When he's talking about the SPX. So, and he was expecting this to be all day. So if you look at this is the SPX chart, and we're looking at it on the 15-minute, right? This is an example of what I would consider to be chop. This is indecision between buyers and the sellers. So it ran up just fine. But now we got the indecision. Do not be surprised if you see quite a few of these types of candles throughout the day. Okay? So just be careful. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We truly appreciate it. Again, please do click like, consider subscribing, and check us out on educator2trader.com to join the membership. That's educator, the number 2, trader.com. I'm Jamie Irvin. Thank y'all so much once again for joining us, and we will see you next time. Much appreciated. Hasta luego.